Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is a chart for the new moon, 11th of March 2013. And I've set it for Aries as the first sign of the zodiac on the left here, and here's Pisces above it. So this is what we call, astrologers call, a natural chart. Now this new moon has Neptune, Mercury, Chiron, Venus, Moon, Sun, and Mars all in the sign of Pisces, and this is the last sign of the zodiac. So we are finishing a cycle, especially so because Mars, which is a 2-year cycle, will by the 12th of March be back in its own sign of Aries. However, let's focus on Pisces. A new moon sets the tone, the theme for the month, and it's the seed. So wherever you have 21 degrees of Pisces in your birth chart, that will be a seed time for you, a new beginning. And the fruit of that seed occurs at the full moon, when 2 weeks' time. And that will be a very different story. But here we are in Neptune's realm. And Neptune is the god of the sea, the god of the ocean. Powerful, unconscious, feminine energy, emotions. Pisces is extremely sensitive and picks up, it's like a psychic sponge, picking up all that's going on around, not necessarily just in your own environment, but the whole world. It's also dreams, the collective dream, the astral realm. It's the crown chakra, for those who know chakras. So the colour magenta also represents, in Aurosoma terms, the soul star above our heads, the reason we incarnate. Now this new moon is very important because Chiron at 10 degrees Pisces is making a very positive connection to Saturn and also to Pluto, both at 11 degrees at the moment. And Saturn in Scorpio throughout the next 2.5 years has Pluto in Capricorn as an ally, and that's important. Saturn and Pluto are both known to be difficult, represent difficult energies for us all, but at the moment they're in each other's signs, so they are allies. So manifesting, which is a Capricorn trait, is important with Scorpio, which is transformation. So we all have the ability to transform our lives through the next 2.5 years. However, that is not as easy as it may sound. But at this moment of time, Chiron, which is the archetype of the wounded healer, is coming to our aid. And Mercury has just passed by Chiron. Here's Mercury at 7 degrees Pisces. It's going backwards. It's retrograde at the moment. And it will pass across Chiron again. Now Mercury retrograde in Pisces will finish, most of us are saying thank goodness for that, on the 18th, so in a week's time, 18th of March. But it's moving very slowly as it changes direction. And Mercury is the god of communication, it is the messenger. So to absorb messages is important at this time, and not to move too fast. Allow, process, allow your dreams, allow your intuition to speak to you. This is an excellent time this month for meditation. Mercury is in Pisces all month, and it's an excellent time to read sacred texts or any spiritual book that inspires you, comforts you, and brings you up from the mundane to a higher realm. Venus, the goddess of love, is also exalted in Pisces. This is the divine feminine, and Venus is close to the moon and the sun. Venus will actually join the sun. It has joined the sun. But this is the feminine aspect, unconditional love, compassion. Compassion for people we may not even have met or never meet in our lives. And this, of course, reminds me of 2 years ago when the Japanese disaster, the tsunami, occurred. That was when Uranus just moved into Aries. But of course, events such as that bring out the emotions, the compassion of everyone in the world who gets to hear about that. And with the internet, most of us did. Now, the fly in the ointment, the challenge of the new moon, is represented by the red line, a very powerful, strong red line. This is Jupiter down here in Gemini, up to Mercury and Pisces. The problem with Pisces and Gemini is they are what we call mutable signs. They are flexible but changeable. And you may find, I've found the same, we've been changing our minds. Something that might have started off and then you go, hang on, this isn't really working. Let's think again. Jupiter is the teacher. It's the higher wisdom. It's the law. It's morals. It's religion. And of course, this month the Pope resigned. A very shocking event because it hasn't happened for 400 years. The Pope happens to have his ascendant in Pisces. He's an Aries. He's got the moon in Libra. But that event is leaving the Catholic world leaderless at this time. So Jupiter, if you like, has resigned. But Mercury retrograde, hopefully the election for the new Pope will occur when Mercury moves forward again. Most important, this new moon is in 1 day's time. Let's click the chart. This is the 12th of March. Suddenly Mars, here it is, suddenly it's taken 2 years to get there, but Mars is now in Aries, and also notice the moon is there. The moon moves very fast. It goes through a sign about 2.5 days, so the moon will join Uranus on the 12th. Mars is the ram. Mars is the soldier. Mars is action. So Mars is going, yes, let's go for it. Let's do it now. However, Mars, Aries, is known to be rash, impulsive. So it ignites. It's fire energy. So ideas, you might think, yes, I've got to do it now. But it's best to wait. That can be difficult when Mars is going, yes. But it's best to wait until the Sun, here at 22 Pisces on the 12th, the Sun will be in Aries, of course, at the spring equinox, and that will be on the 20th of March. And by then Mercury will be moving forward. Slowly, but moving forward. And the Sun represents consciousness. The Sun is the solar plexus in the body. So when the Sun is strong, which it will be in Aries, this is springtime, the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere, the Sun brings that consciousness and will, governs our willpower. It's our inner strength. That's the time to really move forward, because then there's an awareness of what you're doing, rather than letting the rashness of Mars ignite something that might not be sustainable. And we need to sustain our effort. Otherwise, we're running a car on empty. Good analogy. So we can get going with something, but don't make any life-changing decisions until that spring equinox. The feminine energy is the ability to receive. And that is the theme of the month. To allow dreams to come to you, your inspiration, your intuition, and then use that to give birth, because Aries is also the first sign, so it is like giving birth to something new that will be exciting, because Uranus is there, but also sustainable. This chart has a lot of water element. That's the Pisces and the Scorpio, and it also, going back one, well, keeping it in Aries, then there's fire. So think about fire and water creates a lot of steam, a lot of hot air. So any day, if you want to start something, I would recommend a day when the moon, at least the moon, is in an earth sign, especially her own sign of Taurus, brings stability. Now, that will occur. I've now got a moon calendar on my website to show you every day where the moon is, what sign the moon is in. So you can check each day. I hope you find that useful. And also to advertise my Chiron webinar. It's on sale. It's an hour and a half webinar full of information. And I'm sending it along with your personal Chiron astrology report and 4 asteroid goddesses. It's a bargain. It's only £11. I highly recommend it if you haven't already purchased it. Because Chiron is in Pisces. This is about healing our wounds, healing our feelings of being lost or disconnected, alone. And that absolutely we are not alone. The Course in Miracles, it speaks of this. It says we are never alone. I would not leave you comfortless. The angels hover near and all around. Thank you.